What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life.
Beautiful life. We got
Beautiful life.
I got
What a beautiful life.
beautiful life.
Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go. I just need to see your smiling faces at my show. And when you're feeling real love from the family, every day is a gift, y'all, that's all I need.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life.
Beautiful life. We got
Beautiful life.
I got
What a beautiful life.
beautiful life.
Happiness, you know it feels real good, y'all. For us to get it, then we gotta work hard, y'all. Every day. And don't pay attention to the things they say when they tell you that you can't make it, but you can if you try, y'all. When life is rough, I know sometimes you wanna cry, y'all. Just keep the faith and don't question. Ain't no need of stressing. Your life is still a
It's not
blessing.
about the cars, the money, or the clothes.
You can believe these things will only come and go, but when you're getting real love from everyone you meet, it's a blessing, y'all. It's magic, y'all.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life.
Beautiful life. We got
Beautiful life.
I got
What a beautiful life.
beautiful life.
And now we all been blessed to be here, so it ain't no need for stress. We don't worry about the things that we can't control. We just pray and hope for the best. You don't need a whole lot of money. You don't need no fancy car. You ain't gotta be famous or a movie star. Just be happy.
Everybody, today is April 1st. Oh my gosh, I forgot it is April 1st. And you know what that means, people? It's my birthday month. My birthday is at the end of the month. I'm celebrating all month. And what a way that I'm giving myself a birthday gift by having the one and only great author, Mr. R.L. Stine. How are you doing, Bob?
Very well so far.
And you know what? I wanted to jump right into it. Normally, I'm talking about current events or something like that, but I'm so excited to have you on the show today. One, like I said earlier in our little warm up, that Matthew Collins, who I am mentoring, began reading one of your books. It was actually my book. He began reading the book today when he was sitting in my office, and he said to tell Mr. R.L. Stine hello from Matthew Collins. So that's what I wanted to get out the way.
Hello to Matthew.
See,
Hello
he
to
said,
Matthew.
hello, Matthew. And
Yeah,
Mrs. Buckley,
great.
uh-huh.
That's great.
Yeah. And Jen Buckley and Kim Breon both are teachers there who wanted to be in the studio, and they couldn't be because, they're still in school teaching our children. So they wanted me to tell you that they love your books. They have all of them. And I wanted to ask you a question. I know
Yeah.
that you can't go and visit every school that requests, but do you do Skype interviews with students across America?
Yes, I do. It's such a great way to visit schools that I can't get to.
Mm-hmm.
And I do, I've done Skype visits with schools in Singapore and in Australia.
Now, what's the time difference between here, like you're in New York, and like Singapore?
I don't remember. It's like 12, 13 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah. But what a wonderful way. I don't have to fly to Singapore. I can sit here at home. I don't even have shoes on, right? And I can be, anywhere. It's a wonder. It's great for authors, I think.
And so I was going to ask that at the end, but how do people set that up with you? Do they go through your publicist, or your publishing company?
They have to go through the publicist usually it's Scholastic.
Okay.
They're the publishers of Goosebumps.
Okay.
And they pretty much set up my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, my other publishers, St. Martin's for Fear Street,
Mm-hmm.
and, for older kids.
Okay. Now,
That's, I can't really do it myself, but they pretty much do my schedule.
Oh,
I
okay.
love doing school visits. I love getting out and meeting my readers.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to do a lot of book festivals and a lot of schools so I can see people.
Now, how have you found when you started writing your Goosebumps series? Did you start out writing that series to get young boys into reading, or was that it just happened that the Goosebumps series?
It happened. It was an accident.
Okay.
No, we didn't know. When I started writing scary books, and first I wrote the teenage books first, Fear Street,
Mm-hmm.
and then we started Goosebumps. I pretty much was writing them for girls because everyone knows girls read and boys don't.
Right.
And that was just the rule.
Okay.
And then the books went out, and fan mail started coming in, and it was 50% from boys. It was half and half, which had never happened before. There had always been girls' book series and boys' book series.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Goosebumps was the very first one that captured both.
Okay.
That was sort of the secret of its success. But it came as a real surprise to us that boys were reading as well. And so I changed them a lot. There are a lot more boy characters, and there's always a boy and a girl usually in Goosebumps,
Mm-hmm.
just because of that.
Okay. And so when I did a little bit of research on you. So when you started writing these novels, and I know that you said that you and your brother used to go to scary movies and you used to laugh at those movies. But is that how you came up with Goosebumps, or had Goosebumps always been a part of your psyche?
Well, I'd never planned to write horror. I never wanted to be a scary guy.
Okay.
Everything that's happened to me happened like by accident.
Okay.
It wasn't even, I wrote joke books for kids. I did a humor magazine
Mm-hmm.
called Bananas for 10 years for kids. It was a funny magazine.
Okay.
And but I always liked horror.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, horror and humor are very close together. They're very similar. There's the same kind of very visceral reaction that you have to laughing and to screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, when I go to a scary movie, they always make me laugh.
Okay.
I always think they're funny.
So as a kid, I'm guessing that you didn't get scared very often.
No, I never did. I always thought it was funny. When I was a kid, there were these wonderful horror comic books called Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, I remember that show.
Yeah, and the Vault of Horror. And they were this great combination. They were really gruesome. They were ghastly, bloody comic books. But they were funny, too.
Okay.
The art was wonderful. And they all had very funny twist endings.
Okay.
And I think those books were very influential on me because, that's what I try to do. I try to do that blend.
So let me ask you, because you wrote 2 dangerous girl books. So why aren't there going to be any more?
They didn't want them.
Really? Who
I
didn't
don't
want them? The
know.
girls?
The publisher.
Oh,
I know. I did more. They didn't want them.
okay.
What can you do?
Well, you could.
I was proud of those books. They were very good. I haven't written that many vampire books, and they were very good vampire books. These 2 girls who accidentally become vampires, and I enjoyed it. But that was it. I guess we sort of told the story in 2 books.
Okay. You just wrapped it up, a beginning and an end, huh?
Yes.
So I want to know, like, because your books, I used to give them as gifts for kids at Christmas time. And then people said, well, you should give them out for, like around Halloween. Now, I know that you give out candy and books at Halloween, but do you dress up at Halloween?
No.
No, not at all?
No. No, I don't.
Not as one of your characters?
I live in New York. I live in New York City in an apartment building. And Halloween is very strange in New York.
Okay.
What happens is that all the kids in the building, at like 7 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
They go up, and we have like 13 floors actually in our building.
Mm-hmm.
They go up to the top, and they come down the back, all of them at the same time,
Okay.
all of the kids, and they trick or treat at your back door.
Oh, at your
And
back
then
door.
they go
Okay.
down. Then they go down to the next floor,
Uh-huh.
and they trick or treat. Then they go down, and it's over in 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's all over. That's it. They've done the building, and that's it. So no, I don't dress up.
Okay.
Usually I'm working at Halloween. Usually I'm out doing a bookstore, doing appearances. A lot of times I'm not home at Halloween. You know, that's my busy time of year.
Right, exactly. So do
My
you find
national
yourself
holiday.
do you find yourself still getting nervous when you're out at bookstores and meeting the public, or are you used to it now?
I'm used to it. I've talked. You know, I don't get nervous now,
Okay.
and I enjoy it so much too.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't get nervous at all anymore.
Okay.
But I love going up and talking to people, and I do a lot of appearances. I'm doing a lot of appearances in April and May
Mhm.
for new Fear Street book, Don't Stay Up Late.
Right.
I'm doing a lot of bookstores for Fear Street.
Okay.
So
And-
that'll be fun.
And do you write, like some authors can write simultaneously? So you were working on the Fear Street, but I know you have new Goosebumps coming out. So were you working on those simultaneously, or do you need
I
to
do-
concentrate?
Yeah, I do one at a time.
Okay.
You know what? I outline every book that I write before I write it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hates outlines. No
Yes.
one wants to hear that.
I
But
do
I-
too.
Yeah, everyone hates it. But I can't really work without one.
Mhm.
And I outline chapter by chapter what the book will be and what will happen in the book and how the chapter will end. And I do all the thinking in the outline part.
Uh-huh.
And so when I get to writing the book, I've done all the hard work. And then
Okay.
the writing part is easy for me.
Mm-hmm. So
Why
do,
am I telling you this?
do you find
What was your question?
okay? Do you
So
Oh.
I do an outline for a Fear Street book.
Okay.
And I send it to my editors to get their comments on it.
Mhm.
And then while they're doing that, maybe I'll write a Goosebumps book. You know, I already have the outline.
Okay.
And then but I can't write, I can't, my memory isn't that great. I couldn't write two, I get the characters all mixed up.
Mhm.
I couldn't write two at once.
Okay, so how long from the time you start your outline to the time
Yeah.
that your book is in your hands? How long does that process for you normally take?
The actual book, about
Yes.
9 months.
Oh.
Takes forever.
Okay.
Feels
Well, 9
long.
months is pretty fast, isn't it?
No, it takes. It doesn't take that long to write it. I
Okay.
write a Goosebumps book in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Takes weeks. Yeah, because I write every day. I write 6 days a week,
Okay.
and I write 2,000 words a day. I write 10 pages every day.
Wow.
It's just like factory work, right?
Okay.
I do my 2,000 words, and so it takes about 3 weeks, and then it takes the publisher another 8 months to get the book out.
Okay. And so how many I think normally in a year you're putting out about what, 2-3 books a year?
About 7.
So, okay. See my math. See, I'm bad with math. If you didn't know, I'm really bad with math.
Now you have me slacking off. I do maybe 3 or 4 Goosebumps books a year,
Okay.
1 or 2 Fear Street books, and then a couple other projects. I have
Okay.
my first picture book coming out this year.
I saw.
I've never done a picture book. I have a grandson.
Yes. How old is
My
your grandson?
Dylan Stine. He's 1 year old.
1 year old.
Yeah, he's 1 year old. He's good. He just learned to walk.
Okay.
Exciting. That's more exciting than books, right?
Exactly. Right. Well, I have a 1-year-old grandson too. So yes, I
You
know the
too?
joys. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
Oh, that's the most fun.
Yeah.
I've just been having the most fun with him.
Exactly.
And,
And when you get to when he gets older, like around 6 or 7, and you get to sugar him up and then send him home, that's the best.
I know. Grandparent is a great job.
Yes, it is.
Really the best.
So
the best.
did you write this
So
picture
anyway, I
book
did a
for
picture
Dylan?
book, so he'll enjoy it. It's coming out in August. It's called Little Shop of Monsters.
Okay. Now, it's not going
And
to be
it's
too scary for
picture
Dylan,
book.
is it?
He- What?
It's not
You'll
going
get
to
it
be
a bit, in a year or two. It's not very scary. It's
Okay.
funny. It's
Okay.
very funny. The artwork was done by Mark Brown, who does Arthur the Aardvark. You know Arthur?
Arthur, yes, I know Arthur very well. And
Yeah.
the Tibble
Well,
twins.
Mark's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Mark's a friend of mine, and he did wonderful monsters. He did the art for this
wow.
picture book that we did.
Wow.
And it's a very funny book, I think.
Uh-huh. And so you said it's going to be out in August?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So besides that picture book, so you have another Goosebumps book coming out this year as well, right?
My big news is this is a big year for me. This is a Goosebumps movie.
It is. So
The movie.
Okay,
The
so
movie
when-
is out in October.
in October. Oh, just in time
It's
for
all
Halloween.
filmed. I've seen it.
You
I've seen the film.
Okay, and what did you think about it?
Do you know who plays me?
No.
You don't know who
Oh,
plays
wait a
me?
minute, somebody knows. Hold on, who knows?
Wait, you have to guess.
Jack Black?
Yeah. Jack Black plays me.
Wait, how is Jack Black playing you? He looks nothing like
Come
you.
on. Hey, come on. We're like twins. Jack and I.
I don't know. Are you a little round around the middle? I met you. You don't seem a little round.
I'm a little round. I'm getting there.
You're getting. It's all those Thriller
working
Fest
on-
banquet
working on-
meals.
No, they made him cut his hair. He cut his hair, and he wears glasses like this, and he wears
Really?
black. He's me in the movie. R.L. Stine is the main character in the film.
Wow.
R.L. Stine is this guy. He's retired,
Uh-huh.
and he's hiding out in a little town because all the monsters are escaping from his books. And he doesn't want anyone to find him. And there are a million monsters. All the early monsters from the early
my
Goosebumps book,
Yeah.
they're all in the... And
Really?
Slappy the Dummy and the Lawn Gnomes. There are a
Oh my
million
gosh.
monsters. And these kids discover who I am.
Uh-huh.
And they come to me and they say, you've got to write one more book to round up all the monsters. And then it's chasing monsters, chasing Jack and all the kids. And,
Uh-huh.
and it's really fun. I think it's going to be a real fun movie.
Now, you know
And
what? It's so funny that you say that because the one fact that no one knows about me, and I'm going to share it now because you shared this movie. I got
Yeah.
so scared of your books when I was reading them, and I was an adult reading them to my kids. I would put them on the bookshelf, but they had to be in the middle of the bookshelf with books on the end so that the monsters could not escape. So now that you
sweet.
have a movie like this, I don't know if I can handle the
I
movie.
don't know. You're starting to scare me. That is
what-
pretty weird.
I know it really, and you know what? I actually pulled off the books on my bookshelf, and I was taking them to school today. And I actually, when I put them back, I had to make sure that they were not on the end. I actually got left on the end, and I was falling to pieces last night. I was like, I can't sleep with this on the end. So
Oh, that's hilarious.
so okay, I know that's a strange thing, but what is one of the strangest things or a strange thing that some of your fans have told you about reading your books?
Oh, the mail is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
The mail is just great. That's one of my favorite things, is the great mail that I get from kids.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I got a letter. It said, this is a letter from a girl named Faith.
Okay.
Dear R.L. Stine, you are my favorite author. I think you are the scariest person on earth. I want to know everything about you. Do you have hair? That was the whole letter.
Clearly,
Then I
she
got
didn't know
letter.
you.
Well,
I said clearly she didn't know you.
You have hair. Why'd she have to ask that?
I know, right?
Yeah,
So
come
do you
on.
answer them back? Do you answer your fan letters back?
Everyone gets. I can't answer them myself, but everyone gets an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets an answer. Here are a couple more letters I
Okay,
got.
couple more
You like-
letters.
You like these? Dear R.L. Stine, you are my second favorite author.
Who was the first?
That was the whole letter.
Really?
Nothing. Yes, that was it. You were my second favorite author.
Man, I wonder who beat you out.
I'll never know. I will never know. Dear R.L. Stine, I've read 40 of your books, and I think they're really boring.
After 40, he still think they still think it's boring. After 40, he might as well read the rest.
That's my favorite letter. That's my all-time favorite.
Oh, like I was online and I saw someone last year did 62 of your books and put them in their ranking order.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and they had The Haunted Mask as your number one Goosebumps book. Do you agree with that?
It's one I'm really proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first TV show that we did too, The Haunted Mask.
Okay.
Which turned out really well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that one. I could go for that one, I think.
Okay. Now, when you come up with your stories, how do you decide, what the character is going to be? Is there something that, like you say, that you do an outline? During the outline, do you already know what this story character is going to be and what the problem or issue is going to be?
No, that's part of what you have to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I start? And I think this is like backwards for most authors.
Mm-hmm.
I start with the title. I have to have a title first.
Okay.
I don't really get ideas.
Uh-huh.
I think of titles.
Okay.
I have I'm working on a new Goosebumps
Mm-hmm.
called Here Comes the Shaggity.
Okay.
And I just have this title.
Okay.
And then there was no idea. I just have titles.
Okay.
And the newest Goosebumps one that's out right now is called Nightmare on Clown Street.
Okay.
And it's for people who are scared of clowns.
Right. So I won't read that one.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah.
But then I start to think, well, what's scary about a clown? What if there was a place where clowns train to be scary? Or what? See, the title leads me to the idea, and that's where I start. See, sometimes if I get an idea, and I can't think of a good title for it, I throw it away.
Really?
I have to have the title first.
Wow. Okay. So once you have the title, how long?
Then
Go ahead.
Yeah, then I start thinking about the story. Mm-hmm. What's the basic story?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What is the basic premise that what's going to happen here? Mm-hmm. And then I try to think of the ending. Mm-hmm. I try to get the ending before I know the beginning. If I know the ending and what the surprise is, then I can, when I go back, I can keep the reader from guessing what the ending is.
Okay.
I can, throw them off track because I know what it is and they don't.
Okay, so you basically work from the back to the front.
Yeah, well, I do the title, I figure out the basic story, mm-hmm. I do the back, mm-hmm. and then I go to the beginning and start figuring out who the characters are, that kind of thing.
Now, have you ever surprised yourself in the process of writing the books?
No. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll go off the outline, I'd be using the outline and I'll write, and then I'll get some other idea. Mm-hmm. And you're right, you don't know where these ideas come from. Mm-hmm. No one knows. The most asked question for every author is, where do you get your ideas? Mm-hmm. That's what everyone asks me.
Right.
Thank you for not asking. I really appreciate it, because you can't answer that question. Where do you get your ideas?
Right.
You don't really know where ideas come from. It's a really impossible answer, but somehow people always want to know that.
Mm-hmm. So so the covers of your books, all of these, scary clowns and masks. Has anyone, I know that the Haunted Mask, there is actually masks that are sold of that. So do people replicate these masks and send them to you?
No.
No?
No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
Okay.
But I get a lot of letters who say, "Dear R.L. Stine, thank you so much. I can never wear a mask again." Terrified. I get a lot of letters from people saying, because of that book,
right.
I'm terrified of masks. I can't wear a mask. I get a lot of letters like that. Now, that TV show was really scary, and as I say, it was the very first one we did. Mm-hmm. And it's about this girl who puts on this creepy green Halloween mask, and it becomes part of her face.
Exactly.
and it tightens and tightens till it's becomes her skin.
Mm-hmm.
Then it changes her into an evil person. And so, yeah, that mask is quite popular.
So have you or has there been talks about bringing that show back? Bringing the new
Goosebumps show?
Goosebumps back?
No, there haven't.
So
I just had a show that was very similar to Goosebumps called The Haunting Hour.
okay.
It was on for four years,
Mhm.
and it just went off. It was very much like Goosebumps.
Mhm.
It was on the Hub, the Discovery Family Channel.
Uh-huh.
And I say we just got 6 Emmy nominations
Congrats.
for The Haunting Hour, including Best Children's Show.
Mhm.
So I'm really proud of that.
So
And I've had really good luck with television. I feel it's been really wonderful. But there haven't been any talks about doing any more Goosebumps. But we'll see after the movie comes out.
Right.
Who knows? When the
Exactly.
movie comes out this fall, maybe people will want a new Goosebumps show.
right. I think they will. Now, do you find that a lot of adults, are your books now being geared, do you find that your demographic is changing from preteens and teenagers to more adults reading your novels?
Well, I get those kids who grew up on Goosebumps in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
they're all like in their early 30s now.
Yes.
They're in their 20s and 30s, and I get letters from saying, "Oh, I grew up on Goosebumps, I loved it, and now I'm introducing it to my kids."
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, I get to scare a lot of generations.
Exactly. You're a generational scare.
Yeah, we try for that. I'm proud of that.
Good. So you need an Emmy for that. The man who can consistently scare children and adults alike.
I don't scare them that much. It's
Not
kind
that
of
much,
a
no,
tease.
you
I
just-
don't really want to terrify kids, really.
Right. You really just have us looking around corners and not deciding to go to bed with the lights on. I'm just gonna put that out there that I have slept with the lights on many a night by listening to you, reading your books.
That's right.
So I want to thank you for joining me today. I know you've had a full day. I know tomorrow that you will be tweeting with Wattpad, tweeting for Wattpad, correct?
Yeah, right. Tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow
I
afternoon.
try to keep busy,
Yeah, I know. I follow you on Twitter, and so do my interns and my child and my children. So I
That's
really
right.
thank you for joining me and spending this April Fool. See, everybody kept saying, "Oh, that's an April Fool's joke. You're not going to have them on there." See, people, you were wrong. This is not an April Fool's joke.
They
so
didn't believe you.
they didn't believe me,
you.
but now
Well,
they do.
We'll have to do this again. This was really fun.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. And
It's
I am
good.
going to look for you at Thriller Fest this year. I'm going to come and sit in your panel. I might even interview
come say
you
hi.
again.
Come say hi.
I will. So thank you so
Right.
much and enjoy the
Okay.
rest of this
I'll
lovely
see you then.
spring day. Okay.
Thanks a lot. Have a
Uh-huh.
scary day.
I hope not, but okay. So right after this quick break, we're going to come back. I have another author on the line with me, and we will take a really quick musical break, and we'll be right back. Okay, thank you, Mr.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go. I just need to see your smiling faces at my show. And when you're feeling real love from the family, every day is a gift, y'all, that's all I need.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got, all that I need. I've got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? us to get it, then we gotta work hard, y'all, every day. And don't pay attention to the things they say when they tell you that you can't make it, but you can if you try, y'all. When life is rough, I know sometimes you wanna cry, y'all. Just keep the faith and don't question. Ain't no need of stressing. Your life is still a blessing.
About the cars, the money, or the clothes.
You can believe these things will only come and go, but when you're getting real love from everyone you meet, it's a blessing, y'all. It's magic, y'all.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got, all that I need, I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life.
Beautiful life. We got
Beautiful life.
I got
A beautiful life.
beautiful life.
Okay, so we are back, and that was Mr. Bob. He told me to call him Bob, not Mr. Stine. So as you can see, I'm having a great day. That was just an unannounced commercial break, and I thank Mike for just jumping right in there for me because I needed to get some things taken care of. I have on the line with me right now Tamika Patrice Kane. Are you there? Wait a minute. I think I have the wrong cord. Hold on. See me in technology again. Are you there, Tamika?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. So now, we're back. Now, I just need to take care of something because, bam, today is the day, people. My book came out today. I am so proud of this book. Okay, so if you think you already have this book, you don't, because it's a new cover, as you can see. It's a new title, as you can see, and it is a fierce ending. And if you really want to know all about this book, you have to join me at 9 p.m. tonight because I'm going to be on the show with Kay Lowry Moore right here on WLVS Listen Vision Live, seen in over 32 countries, all over the United States. And if you're not tuning in on Wednesdays, you're missing out, people. I'm just telling you that. So today is release day. This is the paperback version, but it's on Kindle, Nook, iPad, iBooks, all e-readers. So do me a favor while you're listening to this show. Go online right now. Download the book. Give it as a gift to somebody. Buy the paperback book. Amazon has a special or something that if you buy either the paperback or the Kindle version, you get the other version of the book at a really deep discounted price, and you can give that away. So that was my announcement for today. Yay me. Oh, and see, I have some congratulatory flowers in the studio with me today. So, Miss Tamika Kane, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a very busy day today. And I know you're a very busy woman as well. You have 3 separate shows that you do.
Yeah, I do.
Now, okay,
Yeah.
I can barely handle one. How is it that you're handling and managing 3 different shows?
I don't know. You know how it is when it's just something that you have to do. It just seems like you have the grace for it. So, yeah, I have one show that airs on Thursday nights weekly, Living Abundantly. It's kind of a spiritual, like a motivating, encouraging kind of show. And then there's the once a month show, the 4th Sunday of the month, which is the Say What Author Spotlight, which my book club sponsors that one. We interview the current author whose book we're reading for that month. And then the other 3 Sundays of the month at 3 o'clock, I have In the Spotlight. And it's an hour show. We'll be trying to feature at least 2 authors or publishers or people who are in the industry during that hour.
Okay. And on top of all of that, you're an author as well.
Yes, I am.
And so tell us a little bit, one, how long have you been an author and what made you decide that you wanted or needed, because, a lot of authors need to write. They feel the need to write. So what motivated you to become a published author?
Well, I think I'll answer this question in reverse first. And I started writing in elementary school, like 7 years old. And I just had a knack for it. But it wasn't until I had written Season of Change, which was my debut novel. It came out in December of 2012, but it's been written almost 20 years.
Okay.
And And so when I wrote that book, I decided at that point that I wanted to be an author. I wasn't ready for it, but I thought I was ready for it, and I thought, this is what I want to do. So I started pursuing some different things, and, we all kind of come up, we're ready for, we're ready for mainstream TV and,
Right.
And everything that goes along with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very interesting, kind of journey, but I wasn't ready for all that. But before, writing actually started with poetry for me. So poetry is how I kind of used to kind of hone my skills, and I started doing some open mics, and then people saw that I had talent and started opening up doors for me to do one-woman shows and stuff like that. So and then about maybe 15, 16 years ago, I actually tried to get the book published, and the market was very different then. They didn't have a whole lot of contemporary kinds of authors, and I
Right.
don't know if there was a market for my writing at that time. So I just kind of put it off to the side and knew that eventually I would come back to it. And so I did, and was just getting that very strong, urge, like now's the time. And so 2012, excuse me, I pulled it back out and went through edits. And there was a lady I knew who had a publishing company, and I went that route. And so, here we are all these years later.
Right. So
yes,
when
that's
you-
isn't a change.
When you first came out and you said it wasn't really a market for the contemporary genre fiction, what did you change what genre you wrote, you put your book out as, or did
No.
you leave it, as a contemporary fiction novel?
It's my writing kind of fall between women's contemporary fiction and literary fiction.
Okay.
And there just wasn't. So I deal with women's issues and stuff like that. There is. Sometimes there can be a spiritual thread that kind of runs through it. The market was just different, very different, and it seems like in maybe the last 10 years or so, we have seen more flexibility in the types of authors that are being published. But when I went back to pull it back out and publish it, I didn't even think about doing traditional publishing at that point. It was like, I'm going to just do it myself,
Okay.
But initially, I was trying to go that route. I think now, if I had gone through the process, I could have come up with a contract or something like that. Even if it was with a smaller publisher. But I just was like, I'll just do it myself, and so I did.
And what was the biggest challenge to doing it yourself? What did you find was your biggest challenge to deciding that you wanted to publish it yourself?
Writing is what I do, but the business of writing, and all the marketing and all that kind of stuff, I literally had to learn piece by piece. And so this is kind of I'll say this, for anyone who's listening in and who's thinking about publishing a book, especially if you are doing fee-for-service kinds of publishing, you really want to make sure that you link up with someone whose goal is your success.
Okay.
So, some people will just take your money, and they don't care if you make it or not because they got their money.
Exactly.
And I ended up in that situation.
Oh, wow.
And so, I literally had to learn everything, step by step myself. And there were things I paid for that I had to, to pay other people to redo because a shoddy job was done. I mean, it was a horrible experience. But I'm not hating on it because, the things that I learned are things that I learned. And so now I publish my own books, without the assistance of anybody else and help other people put their books and stuff out.
Right.
So it ended up being a learning experience that has benefited me, but it was a very frustrating, process at the same time. Then of course you have the learning curve and all this kind of stuff. And so,
Right.
And so there were things that I knew, and then there was a whole lot of stuff I didn't know. And so it's just piece by piece. So that's probably the hardest thing is just not knowing the ins and outs of how to get your book with Ingram and
Right.
the marketing piece and how to brand yourself and all that kind of stuff. I came in completely just green. I didn't know any of it.
So in the process of doing all of this, are you finding it harder because you are indie published to get out into doing book signings and getting your books into stores and because you are a member of a book club as well, are you finding different avenues to get your book out in front of people?
Yes. Yeah, and this is where I think probably being on the poetry circuit helped. Just being able to think outside of the box, because poetry is its own market. And so, like, I have fiction, and then I have poetry.
Okay.
And so, people don't usually just buy poetry. You have to have, like, a presence. And so, like, there are things that I do, organizations that I belong to and stuff like that kind of help open doors, whereas they may not normally be open, and so it's still kind of piece by piece, getting into the stores and stuff like that. But I'm patient, and I'm just plugging along, So I master one thing and go into the next thing. I'm looking into distribution companies and stuff like that. And I actually have found one, and they are just blowing up, United Distribution. I know I'm going to end up doing some things with them.
Okay.
They're just
and you
really
say that you say you found
Pardon me?
distribution, but like, how is this distribution only for indie published authors? Because a lot of authors don't understand that you actually do need distribution to get your book out there.
No, I mean, I think they could probably sign up with, like, be part of, like, a publishing company, but they still have to do what the distribution organizations, require. Like this particular one, there's a fee for your title, and you have to provide a certain amount of books. But they, all of the booksellers are required to, to push every book that they are, that's under their company, and so you have to do what works for you. This works for me, and then, of course, it helps to be able to, to get out there and to connect with other book clubs. It helps to be able to, to get in there and, and meet store owners face to face and, and stuff like that. So sometimes it's, the indie stores or the smaller bookstores, might actually be a better opportunity for you to be able to get out there and to meet people and to get in there and to do, book signings and stuff like that. The larger ones want to make sure that they're going to make some money. And if you don't have a large name, they're not going to really push you, But,
So
you just...
So in the hopes of my goal is to always give out information. So in the hopes of when you looking for distribution and looking at stores and all that, did you just go online and do a search for distribution, or did someone say, hey, I know this person and they can put you in touch with it, with someone else, for distribution? And were you confident with that partnership that you made? Of course, it sounds like you are, but had you looked at other distributors?
Yeah, I mean, you do some initial searching and just got to get a feel for what's out there and what's going to be a part of the process, and then but Facebook has been extremely beneficial, in being able to connect with people who are doing all sorts of things, So, and that gives you an opportunity to be able to talk with other people who may have used certain services and things like that. So this particular company, these are people that I deal with, and I actually had approached them about one thing and then discovered that they had all this other stuff going on too. And as I have watched, they're just blowing up, and it's a real team effort, because if they're not selling any books, they're not making any money either. Exactly. And so, versus just having stuff that are just on the shelves. And so they are, they will push whatever books that you sign up with them, but they have a market and they're moving product, and that's what we need. We need people who are selling books. They want to sell books. So,
and what's the name of this company?
You need to be able to link up with people whose goal is what your goal is, and they want your success as much as they want their own. Okay. So, and I have been, yes, I'm well pleased with them. But anyway, to answer your question, it was United Distribution.
Okay. And are they? Do you know where they're? I always like to give out, shout outs to companies. So United Distribution, and where do you know where they're located?
They're based in California.
Oh, okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, and in the part of, you say you have poetry as well. So have you found that your poetry has been selling along with your novel?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Like there will be events that I'll do, and they may have me come on and do poetry reading, or like be the headliner for an event, and it may be poetry based, but they always work it out so that I can sell my product. Period.
Oh, okay.
So so people who will hear me up there doing some things, you have a novel too. Yes, I do. And if the person who is handling the event knows what they're doing,
right,
and knows how to get up there and kind of promote the person and do a kind of a glowing intro, it will pique the interest of the people who are there anyway.
Okay.
And then of course people who have read the novel, that becomes its own, its own market, if you will. So people who read the novel, like, what else you got?
Right, exactly. So
when something else is coming out, they want that as well.
Right. Okay. So give me a 4-sentence synopsis of your novel, Season of Change.
Season of Change is it's the story of Avery and Alicia Ayers. They are a couple who come from very different backgrounds. Everything looks perfect to the world. It looks like they have the perfect life, and everything's falling apart behind closed doors. And they've reached this fork in the road, this season of change, and they have to decide, are we going to keep things the way they are, even though, it could be disastrous if we do, or we're going to go forward, from there and make this change. And so Season of Change is a story about hope, forgiveness, about, accepting the truth about oneself, because it's real easy to lie to yourself about some things. And, and to just say, I don't have to remain stuck.
Okay.
So, it's an empowering story. Everything I write with a purpose. My tag is changing lives one word at a time. So I aim to empower people to live their best life. And so that requires, kind of being transparent with yourself about where you are and what you need and where you're trying to go.
Right.
So I do that through fiction.
So tell all of my viewers and all of my listeners where they can find Season of Change.
It is available on Amazon currently. It's available on all e-readers, and then paperback on Amazon or my website, which is Tumika, Tumika, Patrice, Patrice.com.
Okay. And, I thank you for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure, and I'm going to have to pick up Season of Change so I can read some more. Now, are you planning on another novel in the near future?
Yes, I'm working on book 2. It will be released in June, and it's entitled On the Pulse of Morning. It's a very different, kind of story, but it is book 2 in the season series, and it will be out in June.
Okay. And so you heard it here. Tumika Patrice Kane has a second novel that will be coming out in June. So make sure, Tumika, when it comes out, I expect to have you back on the show so we can talk about it as well. And make sure you look for Tumika. You're on Facebook, correct?
I am, yes. My standard page is Tumika Kane, Cain, and my fan page it's Tumika Patrice Kane, and then of course I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. I think I'm forgetting one, but anyway, all those other ones. It's just Tumika Patrice. I have an Amazon page, and then I've got the website also, TumikaPatrice.com, and I blog also, and the blogs feed to my website.
Okay.
So it's kind of one-stop shopping. Pop on in, check out, see what we were doing and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Now, do you have one more minute? I'd just like to give a plug for this event that my book
Sure.
We are doing on June 6th, this Saturday, here at in Michigan. The Say What Book Club presents Brunch with Your Favorite Authors, and it is being headlined by Beverly Jenkins, NAACP Image Award-winning author, and hosted or emceed by Flo Anthony. So, and I've got authors coming from all over, for this, and an opportunity to sup with them and to meet and purchase books and get your books signed, and take pictures and giveaways and all that kind of stuff. It's a really great event. But you can contact me at Say What BC, as in book club, Say What BC at yahoo.com for more information.
Oh,
Tickets are currently available for sale.
I definitely, hey, if I'm available, I'd love to come out there and be a part of that. So
thank you.
I will be emailing you as soon as I'm off the air today, actually. and
Good.
and I also want to give a plug for your blog talk radio shows. It's let's see, because you have so many shows. Living Abundantly airs every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. In the Spotlight airs the first, second, and third Sunday Eastern on from 3 to 4 o'clock, and then Say What, which is the author spotlight, is every fourth Sunday from 3 to 4. So your month is tied up with just blog talk radio shows.
Yes, it gives me a chance to really connect with some wonderful people. So it's great fun.
I will be listening to you tomorrow night then at 9 p.m.
Okay, sounds good.
And thank you for joining me today. And everybody, make sure you go out and follow her. I'll be looking for you on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, because I'm on all of those as well. And my name is just like you see it on the show, B. Swangin Webster. Don't think I'm a stalker. Okay. Don't think I'm into porn or anything like that. It is my name. So when you see it, be like, oh, who is this? Oh, no, I can't be friending that person. So it'll be me that, right after the show around 5:15, you'll see me following you and all that. So it's just me. I'm harmless, actually.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. So that was, as you all heard, that was Tamika Kane. Tamika, I'm sorry, I'm dinging the bell. And Tamika Patrice Kane, she's the author of Season of Change, and she's a novelist and a poetry writer, and she has 3 blog talk shows. And I just, today is April Fool's Day, and people, I try not to talk to people today because the struggle is real for me. I am so gullible that you can tell me almost anything on April Fool's Day and get me. But this is not a get you. See, I'm shamelessly promoting myself today. Today, this is not April Fool's. My book is released today. So if you have a book, if you got the pre-release copy and you have your review, please post a review for this novel. Someone actually told me they're going to post a review, but they read the book, sent me an email, and said that this book was their reading empire. So I was really like I was so proud of that. I was like, oh my God, you're comparing me to Empire? Oh my God. So yeah, I can't wait for that review to go up there. Maybe that'll, somebody will go buy the books too. But I'm hoping that all of my WLVS listeners will go purchase my book today and give it as a gift, or read it for yourself, because it really is a great novel, if I must say so myself, people. Also in today's world, we don't know what's going on with the weather, and as you saw by the boot shoe cam this afternoon, I couldn't figure out if I wanted my spring shoes, but it was too warm for boots, so I gave you a bootie. So that's going to be it for me with the whole boots. That was the last hurrah. And next week I was supposed to have it this week, but everything was going on so fast and furious today that I am going to have the video of my shoe closet so everybody can see that yes, I am really a shoe addict. And I just want everyone to take in the glorious weather we're having in DC, and make sure it's spring break for a lot of children. So make sure you have something for your students, your child, your grandchildren to do. Spring sports are occurring now. My grandsons are playing t-ball. I think it's t-ball or baseball, one of the two. But you're not allowed to yell and scream like you do at football. So I really can't wait for football season, because I can't sit in the stands and cheer like a normal grandparent. I have to yell and scream and be all in the umpire's face, and apparently that's not allowed in t-ball. So bring on football season. Okay, so again today I want to thank my intern. She is a graduating senior from Howard. Okay, people, I have some great people working on the show with me. Mike, who I threw a curveball earlier, and thank you for covering for me and doing such a great job with Bob interview, Mr. R.L. Stine. I want to say from me to my girlfriend Paula in New York, to Carmen in Virginia, to Yvette and Brenda. I want to say thank you all for tuning in, because why? I'm living a beautiful life. I know you are too, so see you next week.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, and baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go. I just need to see your smiling faces at my show. And when you're feeling real love from the family, every day is a gift, y'all, that's all I need.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, and baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. A beautiful life. Happiness, you know, it feels real good, y'all. For us to get it, then we gotta work hard, y'all. Every day. And don't pay attention to the things they say when they tell you that you can't make it, but you can if you try, y'all. When life is rough, I know sometimes you wanna cry, y'all. Just keep the faith and don't question. Ain't no need of stressing. Your life is still a blessing.
About the cars, the money, or the clothes.
You can believe these things will only come and go, but when you're getting real love from everyone you meet, it's a blessing, y'all. It's magic, y'all.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, and baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful